software is what we do. We are a software as a service business, but it's technology with a soul. So we want to be there also to support the merchant from a human perspective and keep that human touch that is also important.
Discussion kembali hadir bersama saya Yeni Yusra, dan kali ini kita akan berbincang-bincang dengan COO dari Lummo Shop, Lorenzo. Hi Lorenzo, how are you?
Hi Yeni, doing very good. How about you?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me and spare your time for a little discussion for the daily social. But before we dive into the conversation, maybe you can explain about the recent development Buku Cash rebranding into Lummo, and the toko under Buku Cash was also rebranded into Lummo Shop.
Thank you. So we recently decided to change our brand name, and this came from actually understanding more about the merchant. As a company, our mission is to empower aspiring entrepreneurs and brands to accelerate their growth and serve their customer by giving them the best technology and partner solutions. And we realized that the merchant that we are trying to help, they are very ambitious, they are very growth oriented, and so we wanted to have a brand that is aligned with this spirit, that is very aspirational, and so we chose to rebrand to Lummo. The word comes from the Latin term light, and is meant, it represents our aspiration to shine the spotlight on entrepreneurs and brands and help them grow in their journey.
And you're responsible for Lummo Shop, right?
Yeah, I'm covering the whole operation in the company as CEO.
Okay. What is Lummo Shop's strategy to be able to compete with similar platform right now in Indonesia? And how do you excel yourself compared to others?
So one side that differentiates us is we have been in the region for many years. We saw if you wish, the birth of the first phase of commerce back in 2012. So that the team with a lot of local expertise. The other is, the product itself. We are proposing a new way to do commerce. Essentially, our product does two things. On the one hand, it allows the merchant to sell directly to their consumers without having an intermediary, without going through a marketplace. We give them a very quick to build website and the tools to market that website and make it successful. The difference of D2C is the ability direct to consumers allow the merchant to have very close and direct relationship with their customers and retain their customers in the long term with very close relationship, which is something that is very difficult to achieve on other alternatives for commerce that are on the market. The second piece is come from the realization that good businesses, good small merchants, good brands, in today's reality, they are active on multiple channels. It's not a game of one channel or the other. Often is many different channels, social marketplaces, and today Lummo as well. And so we offer them the software tools to be able to manage all these different channels from a single place in a much more efficient and less time-consuming way.
Okay, so you are targeting the SMEs, right, in Indonesia. Is there any challenge that you still have to face when it comes to acquire them and ask them to join Lummo Shop?
Mm-hmm. The demand that we see for this type of the software solution is very strong, and in some sense, the pandemic has also accelerated this trend of adoption of technology for commerce, because obviously with the lockdowns, as traditional offline businesses become a little more constrained. But when it comes to targeting SMEs, obviously, for many of them, technology is not something that they've been using on a day-to-day basis for work. They might on a consumer side. So there is an important job of education, making the product very simple so that the businesses and the entrepreneur can quickly understand how to use it and how to derive value from it. But also beyond that, we actively provide support to the merchant on how to create a thriving online business, for instance, through webinars, through offline events, through our community that now has over 50,000 members. So it's we need to be there. The technology is the core of our offering, but we need to be there to support and educate the merchant in this new journey for them.
So education is one part of the most crucial thing that startups have to face, right, in terms of introducing a new product. Do you see education still something that you have to face every day? I mean, it's not like all the user or the SMEs is understand already about the technology that the Lummo Shop is offer, right? What is education that relevant for you guys to deliver to the target users?
So as we serve different types and segment of user, and so
right.
the type of education that we offer also varies with the type of users. There are some users that are less familiar with the technology. They're just discovering how to sell direct to consumers. So it's for them, it's more about showing the basics. How does the product work? But then there are businesses that are already very understanding of these dynamics. So for them, it's really how can we be their partner of growth and how to help them understand more sophisticated strategy. It could be about how to use the product. It could be simply more about getting some analytics about their customers and their sales, which is something that our product offering is also a point of differentiation. So the education, as the merchant becomes more tech savvy and more sophisticated, the education shifts from learning the basics to how do I make my business more successful.
But the pandemic accelerate all the technology adoption, don't you think? Is it faster now than maybe if you start 2 years earlier before the pandemic?
Well, so we started almost right on the start of the pandemic with our journey. So I don't have a before comparison, but we can probably say that definitely the pandemic had accelerated some trends of technology adoption. It's the data speak quite clearly in this sense. But the trends were already there. So if you look at, for instance, people selling on social media, it was already a trend that had been around for a couple of years, but definitely the pandemic has given this boost and made these trends even more and more sticky. So I think it's the it's a good time for making these solutions available to the merchant. Also because we help them be more resilient in this time where doing business the traditional ways is more complicated.
Yes, agree. Talk to me about Toko Semesta, Lore. What is that?
So Toko Semesta, Lummo Semesta is essentially our community. Is an effort that we started when, or we're already at still at the old brand. It's a mix of a community with an online component and an offline component. The online component, as I mentioned before, is relates to we do several webinars. We release a lot of content so that we can help the merchant learn about how to do business. For instance, there was a program called Business Immunization. It was helping them counter the impact of COVID on the business and how to protect themselves from risk of what if they get sick and the other component is offline. So we opened chapters for our community already in Bandung and Surabaya. We plan to open more cities down the road. So the idea of the community is we understand that merchants themselves have a strong community spirit. They like to help each other. the more experienced one give tips on how to develop the business to the younger one. So we want to encourage this behavior, which I think is very great. And we also want to be part of it. Try to, again, the community becomes an important channel for us to provide that education that I was mentioning before. And also a way for us to be close to our businesses. As again, I would say in a way, software is what we do. We are a software as a service business, but it's technology with a soul. So we want to be there also to support the merchant from a human perspective and keep that human touch that is also important.
Okay, so in terms of technology, what kind of technology that relevant for the users? I mean, you guys are utilizing technologies to further their business, right? What is the technology that relevant for Indonesian SMEs right now?
So there are several of the technology that we are developing, and some of them fully developing now, some of them working with partners. Some things that are quite typical about the Indonesian market and to some extent the rest of Southeast Asia. One is chat commerce is an important piece. That's why our solution offers a very powerful chat stack. Then I would say the ability, because of what I mentioned before, there are many channels in the market. The ability to consolidate and integrate data with different channels on the Lummo Shop application. And so that they can manage the central channel all the channel in a centralized way. Another element that is very important is we see that a lot of these businesses, they care about their brand. They want to be unique. They want to develop their identity through the product, through the storefront that they're building through us. And so we are providing more and more features to enable them to build a beautiful, highly personalized website that is not just like everybody looking the same, but rather the merchant really be able to showcase their uniqueness. And one important side, because there are the data from these different channels and then from the Lummo Shop website, we're also providing them, the merchant, with pretty powerful analytics about their customer, about their sales, so that they can decide what are their next move in terms of selling better and also giving a better experience to their customers.
Okay, so right now in 2022, is there any new targets that Lummo Shop wants to achieve, or is there any plan that you're still developing right now?
So I mean, we are definitely going to accelerate the product development now with the recent funding round, also with the incoming of top global investors like Jeff Bezos. For us, a significant focus is expanding the team and our product capabilities. Being able to build and expand our product offering faster and better is our key priority.
Okay, so interesting you mentioned Jeff Bezos. Is he part of the new funding or the recent funding? Is it the Seri C funding, or this is the new one from Jeff Bezos?
He actually joined the Seri C funding as well. It's just we weren't able to announce it earlier, but he joined the same round together with Sequoia Capital and Tiger Global.
Okay.
It just took a little longer to get the news out.
It's interesting. Maybe you can share what is the journey that Jeff Bezos is interesting with you guys to be included in this interesting platform. Is there any, you guys approach them, or their people approach you?
So we got connected, as it always happens in this type of investment discussions, and through his Bezos Expedition Family Office Fund, and they were kind enough to review our idea, and once they did, it was, there was a very good alignment. They loved the idea. Jeff Bezos is someone that has been a pioneer of e-commerce in the Western world.
Yes.
I think understands the dynamic of commerce very well. He's also someone that is very focused on customer obsession and on building long-lasting businesses. And these are some of the principles by which we operate. So we are obsessed about the entrepreneurs and brands that we support, and in turn we want to make them able to support their customers in the best possible way. Also, that emphasis, we really believe that direct to consumer and enabling the merchant to sell digitally directly to their customers is the key for making the business more sustainable in the long term. And to have, again, those close relationships with the customer, having your customer coming back and repeat, which again all makes the business better able to sustain whatever rough time that might be and keep growing even in different situations. And so I think there was some things click and then they decided to come on board with the round.
So how many percent the new funding from Jeff Bezos will be used for the Lummo shop and Lummo? Is it fully on Lummo, or there's a small shares that you want to use to boost Lummo shop into more?
So Lummo is our brand name as a company. The flagship product is Lummo shop, and is going to, the majority, the substantial portion of the fund will be devoted to developing Lummo shop further.
Okay. So do you think by including Jeff Bezos into the funding will boost Lummo into more, powerful than other platform? Any advice from Bezos team how to conduct a very sustainable and profitable business? Maybe you can share.
So we're extremely excited about having Jeff Bezos and his team on board to support us. It obviously is one of the people in the world with the strongest and the most pioneering role in developing digital commerce. So the fact that invested, and interestingly, it's only the second investment that Jeff Bezos does in Indonesia. So it makes us very proud. I think it's a validation of the work that our team has done and the perception of that our team is the one that can best deliver and execute on our vision. But also it's, I think, a very important and strong signal about the belief or the potential about the Indonesian economy. It's fourth largest population in the world, growing middle class. The people are quite tech savvy and young, and so I think it signals also a clear change in the perception of some of the foreign investors about Southeast Asia, Indonesia. I think everybody now really understands the potential and growth, and they want to support this potential and see how things develop going forward.
Okay, interesting, right? And just to make sure, Lummo is focusing only Indonesian market, right? Is there any plan to?
Yeah, for the time being, we are focused on Indonesian market. We understand, we are keeping an eye on the rest of the region. There's definitely a lot of interesting things happening in other markets in the region. For the time being, we're working fully on the Indonesian market, and that's our priority. In the future, who knows? We like to do more things and new things. Things might change, but for us, fully focused on Indonesia. For now, fully focused on Indonesia.
Yes. Thank you so much, Lore, for your time, and congratulations for the recent funding from Jeff Bezos.
Thank you very much.
Looking forward to more updates from Lummo and Lummo Shop, okay?
Thank you so much, Yani. Have a great day.
Okay, bye-bye.